Assalamu alaikum dear students, and welcome to another lecture session on marketing management. Students, in this lecture we're going to talk about the consumer buying decision making process, and also what's the consumer buying behavior model, and also the consumer decision making stages. So let's start off from the first topic, that what's consumer buying decision making process. Consumer decision-making process involves some stages and also some processes that the consumers go through while they're making their buying process or they're making their buying decisions. So at first, the consumers, they are, identifying their needs, and based on their needs, they're going to gather some information about their needs, and they may study some sources. And after that, they're going to evaluate the alternatives, that what is the best alternative and the best source that can provide them their needs, and then they are going to make their decision making process. The most important thing for the organization perspective is that the marketing managers should study and also identify those factors, that what are the factors that they are influencing on the consumer buying processes. As earlier on we said that there are some processes or there are some factors which are influencing the buying process of the consumer decisions, which are the economical factors, the psychological factors, social factors, and also the income level of the consumers. So these factors should be taken into account by the organizations, by the marketeers, and then they can target and also they can fulfill the needs of the customers in a better way. So let's discuss the consumer buying behavior model. The marketeers, they're always monitoring and evaluating, and they want to trace the information about the buying processes of the consumers, that what are the stages and steps that the consumers follow in order to reach and also to get to their needs. Basically, the marketeers realize that there are 5 stages which the consumers go through during their buying decision making process. So let's discuss those steps. Stages of the consumer decision making process involved at first, that's need recognition. So need recognition occurs when a customer determines or show a need for a product, or they feel that something is missing, or they want something, right, to be bought. So that's the time that actually the marketing department come to to the existence, and they come to play a role. They should identify that need of the customers, and they should just start working for fulfilling those needs. So once the marketeers they come to know about the needs, the wants of the customers, then without wasting time, they're going to develop those needs, and then through advertisement and promotional activities, they're just promoting the products and services back to the consumers, and give them the information that actually something which was missing from them, or they were in search of it. So now the consumer markets are now going to offer them those products and services. So from the organizational perspective, it's quite important in order to realize and understand the stages, the processes that the consumers are going through to make a decision, particularly for more expensive products and brands. All right, the next step, that's the information search. And the information search involves the stage where the consumers, they're going through a search stage, and they're just continuously searching information about the product or the brand that they want to buy. They're searching in order to find the best possible brand and the best possible product which can satisfy their needs. So they can get information or a recommendation from different people, from families or from friends or from other peer groups, that they have past experience about a particular product or services, because consumers normally they're considering risk, and they want to manage that risk in whatever they want to buy, so they feel that they should not regret about that. It means the consumers are always sensitive the cost which are they are offering in return to a product, so they always want that product or service that can help them or that can fulfill their needs. So they may just gain information for the particular product which they want to buy or services, and they can just search various sites, websites, or maybe just they can get information, as I said before, from those people that they have past experience about a particular product in service. The next is once the consumers they gain enough information about various alternatives, then in this step it involves that they are going to evaluate or monitor the different alternatives and see that which product or which service offer them the best features and the best characteristics or the best benefits. So while they're evaluating the products or the services, so they have some qualities based on the quality of the product or the price of the product. They are going to evaluate the alternatives, and at the end they are going to select a product which has less price as compared to others, and having a good quality, and also can satisfy their needs better than others. Finally, this is the stage where purchase decision starts. When all the above stages have been passed successfully, once they started their needs, then search about that, finally it comes to the stage where the consumers are now ready and they are set to start their purchasing decision. The customer has now finally decided to make a purchasing decision, because this is the stage that the consumer has been evaluated all the alternatives and all the facts and studied about all the information, and finally decided that which is the kind of right product for them to buy in order to fulfill the needs of them. So they have they may use from the experiences of the people, or maybe from the experiences of their peer groups, because of what we all know that actually the purchasing decision of the consumer is a very complex procedure. So when it's complex, so that's why they're just carrying a lot this process, and the cost that they're availing, or the cost they're giving to the company, they wanna just buy something which can help them, or which can give them the best benefits. So at this stage finally they're making their purchase decision, and they're going for the product, and they're paying the cost of the product, and wanna buy the product and wanna consume that. So this is the final stage where post-purchase behavior. It means after the consumer performed the purchase in the product was finally purchased by the consumer. So after using the product, now there is a kind of study of that behavior, or the post-purchase behavior of the consumer. This is the time where he or she is showing a kind of behavior regarding the product that he bought, now evaluating or analyzing whether that product was kind of useful for the consumer or not, or whether the product has made the expectation of the customers or not. Because of what, normally whenever the customers or consumers they want to buy a product in order to fulfill their needs, they have some sort of expectancy, or they have expectation from that product. So once they buy that and once they use the product, so after that they are making their post-purchase behavior. It means they are matching the expectation with the real product usage once the product was used. So what was the actual expectation, and what was the expectation they had before. So this is the stage that normally it's pretty much important. If the product or the brand does not perform as per the expectation, or does not perform as better, that it cannot satisfy that need, or the expectation of the consumer was more than the performances of the product, so automatically the consumer next time is going to change this process once again. So this is pretty much important, that the organizations to study this journey and just provide the right products and the right services to the consumers. If this journey failed for the consumers, and the consumers realized that their expectation was not met by the product or by a particular brand, so next time they're going to quit. It means their decision process will start again, in they're going to not become like a loyal customer to the company.